YouTube, welcome to Upside DIY. So I've got these extra, so they're basically the tips for these silicone tubes. They don't come with a long tip. And I've been modifying a few, like cutting off the, some of the plastic and the rings. This is some of the good stuff. I use this on this shelf. I've jointed, I put it in between most of these joints. There's one joint that has regular silicone, but I kind of missed a spot, but I just wanted to so that, uh, but this silicone also, I put some of the silicone on in the back tire for the most part. I had to take it off because the tread was going the wrong way. Uh, and I was able to also spray paint this sprocket, and also smear some of the silicone on the outside. I used one whole tube to coat the inside of the tire, and then silicone. I mean, I did reviews on weatherproofing. I've even used the other type of silicone and things like that. So just to kind of review on maybe the next attempt on making this mold casting and things, and these are pretty much the starting supplies or just extra supplies in the box. Making a better channel, so I basically used a dental guard, and basically down where I was picking out excess glue, also taping things up, adding, I could have this right here, which is, I used plastic wrap and stuff to keep the silicone, protected or separated from other things. But I could add pretty much the channel onto this, and then recast this, as a fifth attempt, from my own stuff. So I tried to, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to use like a good grinding tool if I want to remove some of these pieces and debris are kind of connected. This is a pretty good scraping tool, but it's just not going to pry up stuff magically and things like that. I got this right here, so I snipped out a few, but definitely have stuff there that I could try to remove some of this debris. Alright, so I should have disinfected this, but I got some of this debris out, so these small tweezers works really good. I mean, that worked perfectly. I mean, using those snippers and, these small needle nose tweezers, perfect. So just kind of cleaned up a little bit here and there, even though it's still a little rough. There was a small piece I was just blocking, and so just using those pinchers, and there might be a spot at that corner, just getting out spots that I could actually remove, and test out the small tweezers. And so I got another little small piece of the adhesive or the glue and stuff. And these pieces are pretty much, once this is removed, it's basically a really good clearing and things, relief, I would think, because now I could actually have some of the barrier set in to this mold, and I could keep kind of reusing and having small spots cleared up. Been picking up some dental supplies here and there. There are some that are really but these paper clips, you see how they're trying to be a different, there's white and there's also a pink one. I'm going to have to, and they're coated basically. That's going to save me a little bit of relief things like that. I got other types of false teeth, more dental guards. I even have some of the fillers. But the thing is, yeah, I've got to sort these things out. I've got a box to kind of have this stuff in. Have just kind of have this stuff a little bit ready. These trays could, stack on each other or something like that. But so just kind of wanted to, just speed run through just basic, kind of like the basic items and things that I pretty much planned out. The thing is, just for now, grab a few of these paper clips. Could just try the white ones first. I could use pink ones. But what I want to try to do, and with the graphing paper and stuff, try to figure out the height. So maybe a small ruler would also help. But so these two few things behind the scenes. These are the drill bits for the shelf. But I do have a couple of, and I'm pretty sure I have another pair of needle nose. But some just really tight pliers, maybe two pairs, just to hold in each hand. And like down here, I've got a pair of cutters and stuff like that. So I'm gonna basically these tools, and this one's missing a handle. So if I ever find it, I could glue that together. Of these teeth that might. So a lot of these small teeth, there's different sizes. There's also another kit. I keep repeating this part, but there's another kit that has wider teeth, things like that. But these are pretty much realistic sizes for what it is. And also, but the paper clip and stuff, gotta find a way to kind of maybe have a hole and then fill this in with epoxy or silicone, things like that. Basically have some of the pliers, and then also fully straightening things out, narrowing, or maybe it's supposed to be this way. I just need to bend towards the curvature and have or just kind of plan out which side is which. So right here, it's pretty good. I might even keep the original curvature. Just planning out, how long and things. So I could bend where my fingers touching right there. I could bend that up, and then so it's a little bit of, but I can make a real curve basically from the inside, and hopefully but I bent the clip a certain way there. I could even have any extras kind of sitting right there and stuff like that. I want to try to make something on the outer edge so that when I glue an epoxy stuff, I won't, I'll have a flush, guide on the outer side within that channel and stuff to actually like keep things a lot more straighter. And how this paper clip and working, yeah, I mean, you guys probably just figured that out with me, is I could assemble this, and then using this mold and everything and the silicone and the epoxy, I could do that at a, pretty much at, but pre-assembling pretty much the other one. So I mean, put it on top of the box. So I got that. So yeah, so now trying to use the small side first, just because that's just the size of this project. I'm going to try to do the kind of the same thing for that side. So and I also want to keep the flat side going down well, it's going to be upward when it's finally finished, but just trying to get the right correct size. So it's going to be at a certain distance. So basically one bend at a time. This should be okay, I think, for the most part. Kind of perfect, I think. So I straightened out the big end and looped it or bent it around. Now I just need to kind of get the curve on the inside. You see how this is curved pretty close to where it needs to. So it's not really tough bending these paper clips, and they're, you know, coated. I think, you know, figuring out like just process wise, labor with my conical screws and things like that, and things just you know, small tests to actually see if things can actually work or perform. So you know, this actually extends you know, the big side is just a little too big, but I'm gonna work on a few things. Just really wanted to have pretty much uh okay, but for now I could kind of use that to guide. So just knowing, you know, the solid or the, you know, the smooth side of the wire, things like that. So it's been, I have to work on my own stuff of the paper clip like this right here, and then kind of you know, just have excess material, wire or material to you know, attach just to certain, like a certain spot right there. So, you know, to the crown, so that it basically has a little, you know, I could bend this and that. I could create a small, or drill out a small hole. This is actually a pretty good size, things like that, depending. But just to give you guys some information and reference on, you know, some of the ideas, I think, and or, you know, this is still a little too big, too large, I think. I could find one, if there is even one that's slightly smaller, which this one right here, the overall, like, and also with these, also had a small idea, whereas to recast these, especially for a delicate area section like that, and make it like double wide, or, you know, 50% longer, to actually attach to the clip and things, for the assembling of practically useful um, useful information, I think. Thing is, there's, you know, depending, I'm gonna have to work on a few things. I might add like a piece of bubble gum. So I'm not really precise, but you can use all types of stuff or other items, even epoxy and things. But just have things, you know, just to kind of help. And, you know, if I could bend this and just to help hold at this point, just, you know, it's basically, and also I could make a double mold of these. That's where this bubble gum is going to play a part, or you know, and it's basically, you know, instead of stuff sliding around and uh, being hard to work with, you know, and even with the tweezers and things like that, um, it's basically going to be stuff that I could kind of put together. Um, you know, I could kind of spin this around, and the tooth isn't, or the crown isn't, back things together. I even laid this small little workboard. You know, I kind of keep that to the side right there, so I got other platters to work on top. The silicone that I'm going to use, I got a bunch of that now.